Welcome back to the Dark Messenger. This is part 2 of our stalk of the Dwemer ruin Nchardak with Neloth. When last we left off, we had acquired 4 of the 5 cubes we're going to need to turn these boilers back on. If you remember, our objective here is to get our hands on the black book Epistolary Acumen, which is locked in a glass case at the entrance of Nchardak, and we need this last cube in order to start the boilers, which will run the mechanism to unlock that book. So at this point we've recovered enough cubes that we can drain most of this chamber, and this is, I think, going to get us to the final area we need to go to acquire the last cube. When we left off part 1, I was talking a little bit about my default quick launch settings and the fact that on Xbox you can only have 2, whereas on the PC you can assign specific powers or items, spells to things on the number keypad. You have more options. On the Xbox you can only do 2 because we're using the D-pad. I was just mentioning that my default, my go-to, if you will, is Vampire Sight as number 1 and Unrelenting Force as number 2. Vampire Sight as number 1 because I use it constantly. I use it inside, I use it outside. I'm traveling at night almost exclusively because I am a vampire. So I use it a lot. And then my backup, or my emergency, is Unrelenting Force. Unrelenting Force, I have all 3 words at full power. I have invested also in some extra enhancements for Unrelenting Force that give me a chance of basically vaporizing anybody I hit with it, for example. That was a benefit of the first book that we retrieved here in Solstheim, called the SEL-h. If you look in the Dark Messenger playlist, you will see I have a video of Apocrypha SEL-h that you can watch that shows where you acquire that book and what happens in Apocrypha when you go through that particular bit. So essentially what I do is, first and foremost, I always attack at range if the enemies are too close, or if I'm not doing enough damage, or if I have a few miscues and they're getting too close to me, I will quickly go to my other favorite, my backup favorite, and use Unrelenting Force to buy myself some time. Usually at this level, I mean, it pushes them back significantly. Even large enemies, it will stagger, and that's enough time for me to get off 1 or 2 more shots and usually take them out. So for me, it's kind of an emergency backup if for whatever reason I'm not being effective with the bow that day. So, okay, I think we did. We had to drop all 3 of these. I was just kind of doing trial and error. Terrible. That was a mess. That's what happens when you don't let the assassin go on point. Don't let the mage take point. Just a quick update. In my last episode, I mentioned that I was going to be launching a series of guides for assassins called Death Mentor. I'm working on that project right now, and I hope to launch a couple videos here coming up later this week. I hope you'll watch those. If you're interested in the assassin playstyle, I'm hoping that you'll find them informative. You can watch my Tumblr site for more information on that, CouchWarrior.tv. I'll also be announcing it on Twitter. You can always follow me on Twitter at CouchWarriorTV there as well. Alright, now, this is our last bridge. So we had to try and use a combination of 3 control pedestals to get all 3 ramps to drop at the same time. We were able to do that. I kind of did it through trial and error. I'm not sure if there was a pattern there. I'm sure that there was. I wasn't really paying attention. I was just trying things until it worked. Maybe I got lucky. I don't know. Alright, so we got to leave this cube. And he is going to sit tight while we go try to retrieve the final cube. There's no pedestal here, so it's got to be the other direction. Yes. So put a cube in here. Now let's see what we're up against. We are up against traps, and rather ugly looking ones at that. You can see there's a pressure plate in front of me. I'm not taking any chances with that. I have I've taken the stealth perk that is supposed to keep you from activating traps. Obviously that perk does not work with tripwires, and I have actually found instances where Dwemer pressure plates ignore that perk as well. So I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to try to avoid all this business. And here we're going to see the value of that stealth roll. It's a quick enough burst of speed that I can get past a lot of stuff very quickly. So let's see, we're going to do this. Oh, man. Things are wicked. Alright, there's our last cube. Grab that sucker. Now, we should have all of our cubes accounted for. Oh, crap. All of our cubes accounted for. We have to retrieve the one that Neloth had. That should be it. No, we should have them all. Yes, I do have it. Yeah, let's be on our way.
Watch out. The water's rising even higher. Shut down. That was easier than I expected. I'm glad you were here to do all the hard work.
Yeah. Alright, let's get out of here. Okay, I'm a little bit turned around. Well, let's make sure there's nothing else up here. I don't think so. He got the cube, so I think between the two of us we should have all of them. Let's go back this way. This is not our exit. There's a chest here, however, so it was worth the trip. Oh, come on. Ugh. There we go. Gold is always good. Everything else is junk, where I'm concerned anyway. So the long-term plan for Sentrosi is that I'm not sure if we're going to entirely finish this Dragonborn questline right away. I haven't decided how far down this road I'm going to go towards pursuing Mirac, or if I may take a break from this. But one of the big goals I have is I want to get to the Mage College and run through that material. I'm pretty excited about that. I've been really focused on archery and stealth, one-handed, alchemy, my crafting skills. I've got those to a point where everything's really serviceable. It's not maxed out yet by any means, but it's all serviceable. I can make some really nice stuff. And I'm interested in changing my focus a little bit and acquiring some levels in illusion, especially quiet casting. Here we go. Come on. Get out of the way. Let's take this guy out. Ugh. range shot. So we will flank. You going?
You'll need the cube I picked up to start all the boilers.
That's right. A master wizard of the House Telvanni. Alright. So these are the pumps. We have to get all 4 running. And we have to not allow this chamber to flood. So that's going to take all 5. We're going to take 1 out. This will flood the chamber right up to the bottom of that platform down there. So if I take 1 of these, that should give us everything we need. Excellent. Alright, we got one from Neloth. We're going to have to take 1 of these. Let's go put in what we got so far. It's 2 of 4.
You do still remember
3 of 4. Oh, the last one is going to be one of these 2. Yes, I remember why we're here. And here's the last one. Right. That should do it. That should have released the book. Guess we'll find out. This is cake. We got him. We got him. Bam.
I'm going to head back upstairs.
Centurion, 3 shots. Yeah, you go ahead. We're going to check this chamber because Centurions generally guard loot. This is a chest. And a bunch of junk I don't need. Ugh. That's one thing I will say that I don't know if anybody else experiences this, but you know, you get to a certain level where it's just there's very little loot anymore that's worth taking. Early on, you're taking anything and everything because you need to make money and because you need to acquire enchantments and all that kind of stuff. So you're taking items that normally you might not take just because you want to disenchant them, for example. But now I'm sort of at this level where I can make all the gear that I really want. So there isn't that much incentive to acquiring things except to collect. So I usually will collect, you know, the unique items, but there's a lot of stuff I just don't bother with anymore. Okay, we're back where we started here, and this is the glass chamber that houses our book.
Now that
So
the
let's see what we
boilers
can
are
do.
working, it should be simple to release the book from its protective case. Shall we get on with it?
Let's do it. Come on, man. Excellent. Well, I thank you all for watching another episode of The Dark Messenger. We have successfully retrieved the Black Book, Epistolary Acumen, from Nchardak.
Besides, it could be very dangerous. These books are known to drive many people insane.
Thank you for watching another episode in the Dark Messenger series. Please feel free to rate, like, and subscribe. It helps me a lot. You can follow the story at CouchWarrior.tv or on Twitter at CouchWarriorTV. Thank you.